Hey Mama, I'm so excited to hang out with you. Let me make sure my makeup isn't, it's towards the end of the day, so now I'm using this as a mirror. I had a meeting today and I ate my lunch on my way to said meeting, and my business is now pretty automated and pretty virtual, but I had an in-person meeting today and I'm pretty sure I had something in my tooth during the whole meeting. Because when I got home, well, actually not when I got home. When I got to daycare, I went to the bathroom and I looked in the mirror for the very first time. And I had like a really big something in my tooth. And I was like, I had a meeting with somebody that I know she would tell me. So I'm like, I really kind of want to check to see if I did have something in my tooth. It doesn't matter at this point. But I'm like, would you tell me? Like, would you tell me I had something in my tooth? It was something that I ate on my way to the meeting. So I feel like it was in my tooth because I didn't eat on the way to daycare. I ate before the meeting. That is besides the point. But I'm hoping, I mean, again, it's so silly. It's so, like, does not even matter. But I just thought that was really funny. So you're going to come with me as I fold some laundry because I am prepping our outfits for the next 30 days. So everything, here's my system. I'm going to talk to you about productivity because it's probably one of my favorite topics. For years, so many people have told me how productive I am and how good I am at time management. And I feel like when you just live a certain way, you don't really see it as like this wow thing. I'm just like, well, this is just who I am. However, I'm starting to own it because I have been doing something called a to-done list versus a to-do list. So I still write a to-do list. However, at the end of the day, kind of like a journal exercise, I review everything I did do versus going to bed reviewing everything you didn't do. Because as a mom building an empire, there's always going to be something that we didn't get done. It is. It's like even tonight, my list is still going and my energy is not. And so I've had to make the decision of like, what am I going to get done? Because this whole list, ambitious Nellie at the beginning of the day had all this energy, and then obviously there's only so much energy to go around. So I've really enjoyed a to-done list at the end of the day. Sometimes I share it on social, sometimes I don't, but I'm making a conscious effort, regardless if I share it or not, to take a moment to like really acknowledge how much I did get done. So I think that that's really, really important. And the vibe of a to-done list has been incredible because it really puts you in a state of abundance and just feeling accomplished, because you're like, wow, I actually did get a lot done. And a lot of times there's so many things on a mother's list that's not on her list that she has to do. Like, I don't write getting kids ready in the morning on my list. I'm folding blankets terribly right now because I'm trying to multitask. You don't have to be perfect. So anywho, I figured I would try to multitask and talk to you about productivity as I fold laundry and prep our outfits for the next 30 days. Prepping the outfits and prepping meals for 30 days at a time, it is a big commitment, but my brain has loved it. Like during the week, it is so nice not to have to really think too hard about what's for dinner, what are we wearing, right? It's just been incredible. So before I get too far into talking to you about productivity and mom cracks of time, I want to quickly give a shout out to our episode sponsor, which is Kristen Rourke. She is one of our top sponsors. I can't talk about her enough. I have worked with her for years and I have seen her grow as a businesswoman and as a mother, and it's just been so rewarding. And I hope she doesn't mind me spilling the tea a little bit, but she has a squat challenge coming up. I'm not going to give you too many details, but make sure you are connected with her because you're not going to want to miss out on this squat challenge. It's going to be really, really fun. And Kristen is like a total badass. And I don't know about you, but summer is coming and I want a really good booty. Like there's a lot of junk in the trunk, but it needs a little bit of a lift, right? And how we do that is squats. And she has some really smart methods to get a amazing, you know, feel good body inside and out in the small mom cracks of time. So she's going to help you on the body side. I'm going to help you on like the time management side. And together we're just all going to take over the world. So check out Kristen. You can always comment below squat challenge if you're watching a video of this episode, and or just connect with her on social media, because that will make it really, really easy. So let's talk productivity. So first and foremost, you starting to see yourself as already being a productive mama is important, because how we see ourselves versus how we operate is really important. Because if you see yourself as not productive, you're already going to be in a different frequency from an energetic standpoint versus like, today's going to be the best day. I'm going to get a lot of shit done. I'm going to feel good doing it, right? Like when you set the tone, your frequency really will mirror what you tell your brain you want it to mirror. So like, for example, even today, this is going to go right on the bed, so I'm not going to fold that. That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. Anyways, to this morning, I was hyping myself up. I was like, exactly what I just said. Today's going to be a good day. I'm going to get a lot done. I'm in a good mood. But I decided to be in a good mood. I put on lashes for the first time in what feels like forever. I put on a lipstick. Like, I haven't done that in too long. Like, I'm a girly girl. I love makeup. I love clothes. And now having 2 kids, especially during these winter months, I feel like it's been sickness after sickness, and I honestly have not had the energy to do all the extra stuff like makeup. So it just hasn't happened as much as I would like it to. So all of these things I decided it was going to be a good day. I decided I wanted to get a lot done today. I decided to be in a good mood. I decided to put makeup on, and it was an incredibly productive, happy, feel good day because I decided. So like, before we even make a to-do list and do anything on said to-do list, it is really, really important for you to decide and really put that energy forth. From there, you doing a brain dump of everything that you would love to get done is huge. Then comparing it to what small mom cracks of time do you have today? Do you have right after you drop the kids off for like an hour? Do you have nap time? Do you have snack time? Do you have car pickup time? Do you have a huge block of time with childcare? Do you have your lunch break because you work during the day for somebody else, right? Like, you really looking at when can we do what from the brain dump will, before you do anything, set you up for massive success. So we set you up for massive success from an energetic standpoint, okay? Then we set you up for success from a structure schedule standpoint. And again, we haven't done anything yet, right? And then from there, it is what works so well for me, and you get to play around with what works well for you, is like timers. So like, it is without fail, I will wear my Apple Watch every single day. Like, I almost feel naked without it. Like, I joke that this is my boss. So I have multiple alarms on here. I'll set reminders with Siri. I will literally, like, any notification, I shouldn't say any notification, only certain notifications come through here, and they're like the most important notifications, right? So like, this is my boss. My Apple Watch is my boss. It runs my day to be productive, and it's so helpful. And even just knowing what the time is really helpful, so I don't have to go find my phone. I don't have to look for a clock. That may sound really silly, but it does take up time. It does take up energy. So this has been huge. And then really breaking down that brain dump into like, okay, what is the number one thing that's going to move my business forward today, making sure I always do a needle mover is what I call it, and something self-care based. So I always want to be taking care of myself, and sometimes it's going to be big and extreme. Like today it was putting on makeup. That's not an everyday thing, but that was like my self-care today. And so something self-care based and something essentially sales based, right? Because sales and self-care, when we put them together, is like the holy freaking grail for business growth, AKA you making more money, right? And when we can make more money for you, it will really knock down any and all, for the most part, barriers that you have. Like if you really think about going all in with you making more money and managing your money, of course, but you going all in and making more money, I bet could almost create this domino effect for everything else that you desire. Like almost your whole entire wish list can be knocked down by you focusing more each and every day on you making more money. And that does not always mean more time. This whole episode is about you working smarter, not harder. You could work the same amount of time and either make the same exact money, but it'd be easier, right? Like you work from home versus having to drive in, or you work the same amount of time, but you make 20% more, or you work less and you make more, right? Like we want to really analyze that very strategically, because being productive, the goal is that we don't keep filling time with more things. It's so you can live, right? It's so you can take care of you, take care of your family, like get back to living versus working your life away. It actually makes me very sad how many hours most adults spend working before they retire to enjoy potentially like 11 years, and your kids are already grown up. Your body is much older, right? Like let's get a whole new way of being very much trending, because I think 11 potential years is just total BS with the normal retirement age. And there is a different way. And that's what we're all about at the Wealthy Mama movement, is paving a different way that actually feels good to you now and in the future. It gets to be a both and. I'll never forget, I had breakfast with somebody a while ago, and they were so excited to retire, and they had a countdown, and it was still like 5 years away. And they had a countdown because they were so miserable. And I remember feeling really sad for that person, and also like, interesting that they think that that's the only option. Like, there are so many options, especially in 2024. So that's another episode for another day. But timers are huge. Apple Watch is huge. I wanted to give you some things that you're not maybe thinking of. So co-working, even if it's virtual or in person with one other person, is huge. This in the ADHD community, this is called body double to each other. You're both being productive together, and it really, really is huge. It's saying that I have a low connection. Let's go. I have so many internet challenges, and I'm not going to let it drive me crazy, but it drives me a little crazy. We're going to move on, and we're not going to give it our energy, but I'm like, come on, keep up with me. Keep up with me, internet. If anyone knows a more reliable internet, because it's not just at my home, it's like everywhere I go. So if you know any mobile reliable internet, I have a very great top internet or mobile company that we do our phones through, but it shocks me how many challenges I have with a slow connection. So we'll try this. Hopefully it works. But co-working, body doubling, will change your life. I'm literally doing a session with somebody tomorrow, and I already have my to-do list done. So like my brain dump for the day, I'm getting in the right energy. I already know what I'm going to eat for lunch. Like it's a whole day of body doubling, and I could not be more excited, because there's been some things on my list that I'm like, I just want this gone, right? Like things that have been on your list, imagine them getting eliminated, right? Like it's so important to get those things off of our list, because they start to weigh on you, and that does drain your energy and therefore drains your productivity. So co-working, I want to do more of it. Even if it's virtual, it I love co-working with my team. I love co-working with other peers. Like, I love co-working with even my clients. I've done that a lot over all the year. So schedule a 2-hour block at least with another person. Like, I've had where our kids are playing and we're working at home. Like, all of it is great. So like that, I guarantee you most likely are not maximizing that productivity hack. You doing that once a week would skyrocket your productivity. Like, skyrocket your productivity. So that's all I'm going to say about that. If you have any questions on body doubling and co-working, hit me up in the DMs. I'd be happy to answer more questions. But at the end of the day, it's 2 or more people working together, even quietly, to get their task done. You can collaborate and brainstorm together, but my biggest piece of advice is set the tone before, because sometimes when there aren't those boundaries, it can turn into like a social session, and then somebody, especially like an introvert, is dying inside because they thought it was going to be like study hall quiet time, and then there's chatty Kathy just like chatting it up, and then no one gets anything done. So set the expectations ahead of time. If there's like 15 minutes of social time, then it's like get to work time, or there's timers, right? Like, depending on who you're with, just keep each other in check, because the goal is that you leave feeling like you've accomplished what you wanted to accomplish. With that being said, bulking tasks together is huge. So do all of your content creation at the same time. Do all of your email checks at the same time. Do product development all at the same time. And I know that that's not always ideal when you have small mom cracks of time. However, you could say for the whole day, any time that you have time is going to be all about product development, or all day when you have time is going to be all about, cleaning your house. Because this is not just business tasks. This is your life too. So even if you don't have the reality, because I get that, me too. If you don't have the reality to sit down for 8 hours at a time, you can designate the day to be the theme is bulk, accomplishing a certain type of task, and your brain will still stay in that energy. Your body will stay in that energy, and it will help so you don't feel like you're like ping ponging all over the place. And you're like, okay, now I'm over here checking emails. Now I'm over here doing product development. Now I'm over here content creation. Like, most brains really do not thrive in that type of flow. It's not even a flow. It's just you're all over the place and you're doing it to yourself. So we do want to have some plans and have some themes, because it will help your energy stay just more in true flow. Okay. So bulk creating tasks together. Anytime I'm driving and I think of something, I'll say, hey Siri, I hope it doesn't do it. Set an alarm for such and such. And that alone has been huge for my productivity and also keeping me safe, because obviously I don't want to forget. And if I can't write it down, then I start to get anxious. So I just go ahead and make it an alarm on my phone when I know I'm not going to be driving. So if I can't even do it, it's a great reminder of like, hey, write this on your to-do list, or do this when you do have time. So that has been huge for me. And then a few other ones, I'm like giving you rapid fire here. I'm giving you everything I've got. Rewards are huge. And I do believe rewards can be before, during, and after, because we don't want to get in the mindset of you only get rewarded when you do things, because then your worth starts to become contingent on you doing something. So I love like a little reward before, a little reward during, and of course a reward after. This is great for your energy, because you're like, okay, I've got some, momentum. Now I'm going to do the thing. I maybe get something during, right? And then I get something after. And rewards don't have to be anything expensive. It can literally be you're rewarding yourself with watching your favorite TV show during, or you're rewarding yourself with doing your makeup, or if you do want to buy something and it makes sense, then you totally can do that. But rewards are just making it enjoyable. At the end of the day, rewards to me are making anything and everything fun and enjoyable. Like today, I literally wore a cowgirl hat while I was cleaning my home and no one was home. But I just thought it was funny. It was enjoyable. I ended up recording a couple of videos, wasn't planning on doing that. And that is the big thing I want you to take away from this episode is when you actually make things enjoyable, one, you're vibing on such a high frequency that you're going to do other tasks that may not be on your to-do list, which will already make you more productive. You're going to enjoy yourself more, which in the future is going to make you more productive. So you not hustling and grinding is the most important thing. And I think that there is a big misconception of when you are being productive, you're hustling and grinding to me is put your head down, get to work, whether you like it or not, whether you want to do it or not. Don't make it enjoyable. Work. You'll sleep when you're dead type of vibe. Like, it's a recipe for burnout. And a lot of people use it as a badge of honor. And it does not mean that other people that are not subscribing to the hustle and grind aren't putting in effort, aren't working their butts off, right? You're subscribing to the ease flow fun is what I call it. So I still put in a lot of hours. I will not BS you. Like, even with a passive based business, with the direction that we're heading, I'm cranking in some hours, but it's all with ease flow and fun. I never work myself to the point where I'm exhausted. I never do something in a way that does not feel good to me. I take tons of breaks. I ask for help. Like, it's a whole different way of being. And I really want to share that message more and more and more, because I don't want to create a false sense of reality that it's like, oh, Nellie's not doing anything, right? Like, she's just working 15 minutes a day. And that is just not the truth. And to me, when you love what you do, you're not worried about the hours. You are getting so much fulfillment from everything that you're doing, everyone you're around, that it's just icing on the cake that you happen to get paid more and more and more. And the big payment is you enjoying what you do. And a lot of people don't always get that opportunity, and they don't create that opportunity for themselves. And so the fact that I genuinely love what I do, it feels really good, like naturally feels really good, is a big blessing, and I don't take it for granted. And so the vibe is totally different than if I were working 80 hours a week in a cubicle in a job that I don't believe in. It would feel so different. And equally, if I didn't work at all and I only stayed home, and I say only with the most love because it is a full-time job within itself, but I would feel a sense of sadness, because I'm a creator. I'm a connector. Like, I want to be around other people. I want to create. It's like my art, right? And so when an artist doesn't get to paint, a piece of them is like dying inside. So I knew that from the very, very beginning before we had kids. Like, I'm a creator, I'm a connector, I want to be doing things. And so now I've been able to engineer it in a way that is not at the expense of my self-care, my family, my energy. Like, I finally have gotten to that beautiful balance. And balance doesn't always mean it's perfect or, I don't mess up or any of those things, but balance just means more harmony. That's a better word. There's more harmony, and it does take time. It does take trial and error, but everyone can get there. So my last piece of advice is really just looking at your current reality and what feels hard. Like, because if you feel like things feel hard, they probably do. And that's the first biggest bang for your buck. Like, be more productive, make things easier, make things more enjoyable with your current day-to-day. And that alone will make you more productive, because you're taking the stress and the pressure and the negative energy away, and it will feel completely different. Even if it's the same amount of hours, you enjoying it, you making it easier, you really looking at it in a different way, automating, delegating, right? Bulking tasks together, like just some restructuring, right? We're just going to rearrange a little bit. Will make it feel so much better for you. So that is like my last piece of advice. I have so many other things that I want to talk to you about, but those are like the biggies. And I really want you just starting to think about working smarter, not harder. People say it all the time, like work smarter, not harder. But that's at the core of what a passive income business is. You can be having clients and have a passive income based business because of how smart you're working, right? And you could be creating products, digital products from clients that you have, right? Like I have worked with women privately for years, which literally is helping me create my passive products. So I have been taking all of those private conversations and saying, okay, there's a theme here, right? Like when so many women come to me and start to say certain things, I'm like, this is a thing, right? Like I need to solve this for more people. And that's when I create digital products, right? And so although I'm not taking on any more one-on-one clients, I have all of those memories, all of those years of hours that I put into one-on-one calls, group calls, in-person events, retreats. Like I couldn't even add up the hours that I have spent with women in private containers. Like I don't even know how to add it up. It would be an incorrect number. Like it's just that many hours. And so anything and everything that you're doing right now, you can already have a passive income based business with how you're looking at your business, from your passive marketing to your products that you currently have that you're developing. Like I really want to get you in a very strategic brain. I am all about the woo and the energy, and I back that up with a lot of science, a lot of data, a lot of strategy. I love them together, right? Like they're almost like the two besties, like that, those, you know, that like best friend goal where you're like, damn, they are just a power dynamic duo. That's what the woo and the work is all about. Like fusing it together, everyone working on the same team, working smarter, not harder, really already thinking of your business as a passive income based business, and starting to lay the groundwork now. It's the best thing that you can do, and I'll keep talking about it, and I'll keep helping you, and I'll keep motivating you, because you will thank yourself. Like you laying the groundwork when you do have a day job, you laying the groundwork when you already have clients, you laying the groundwork when you have these small mom cracks of time, like you will thank yourself. Like I am so glad I have done everything that I've done thus far with small children. It's been hard at times. It's been challenging at times, but when my kids are older, I'll already have such a strong foundation of a business that I don't have to start, right? Like I don't have to start from ground zero when they're older. My kids are always going to need me. It doesn't matter their age. They're always going to need their mom. So me just making use of my time now and working as smart as I can and not harder and enjoying life now and in the future, right? It's a whole way of being. And I just want to get more and more women in this universe because it's a whole vibe, and anyone that wants it can have it. It's just simply deciding and then moving accordingly. And that's where I come in. So we have lots of things coming in the Wealthy Mama movement. If you want to become a sponsor, if you need resources, we're building tons and tons of free and paid resources. We've got opportunities galore, an annual event coming in December. So many exciting things. So please make sure your notifications are turned on. If you want to be a sponsor, we have super affordable options. We're building a library of all of my body of work that you can access, templates. Like I'm just obsessed with helping you work smarter, not harder, and you enjoying your life. And if there's anything I can do, please reach out, because as we are building things for this next phase, hold on one second, Emma. I would love your feedback. So if you're like, oh my gosh, Nellie, are you guys working on this? Or could you work on this? Like, I love your feedback and I value your feedback and would love to hear from you. So hit me up in the DMs. Let me know what you need, because it would be really, really helpful to us. If you want to become a sponsor, just reach out. When our new website launches, it will have everything on there for you. But I'm not waiting. I'm talking about things. I'm getting people excited, and it really does motivate me. Okay, someone's paging me. Yes, ma'am. So, all right, go get your brain dump list ready to go, and I can't wait for you to be so productive tomorrow. Love you.